Thank you for watching. I'm going to the pirate house, the 1820s house. I hear about mythology. If you walk by yourself in the middle of the night, spirits can apparently, negative ones, bother you, hurt you. Stay tuned. More episodes of Mysterialis coming soon. Next week, I begin my investigations. There is a length, there is a time that it takes to edit. But I'm going to be speeding it up with the pirate house, 1820s house, go as fast as possible to really get that out there. I already have the footage from a while ago. It is Friday the 13th. I did a live stream last Friday, Friday the 13th, and nothing happened. Probably thought it was a bit of a letdown. It was a bit of a letdown to me. It really gave me some perspective on the nature of whatever that entity was. Most definitely a nefarious, heinous, malicious, just purposefully didn't want to show up on the live stream. But I left the equipment on Friday the 13th, last April. Saturday the 14th, nothing happened. I left the equipment, I put all the equipment in that corner over there. And I left my longest running ability camera on it. And every 2 hours, I would delete the footage and re-record. Delete the footage and re-record. Because I didn't notice anything. I didn't capture anything. Maybe slight nothing. Nothing worth recording. But on Saturday the 15th, and I left the equipment on until Saturday the 15th, you'll see the footage of the exact time because I have a clock right next to it. This was a couple months ago. At this point it was 3 months ago. Like I said, I recorded all of Friday the 13th starting during the live stream, and I continued. The cameras continued to roll. I don't have the capacity to roll them for 3 days straight, so I deleted the footage every few hours. Nothing happened at all on Friday the 13th, and nothing happened at all on Saturday the 14th. But the last time I clicked the record button after deleting the previous footage was Sunday the 15th of April at 4:23 a.m. You could see right here, 4:23 a.m. I sped up many hours of footage so you don't have to watch a 6-hour video. So I'm going to continue. Here is the sped up footage. You start at 4 something a.m. and it quickly goes to 5 a.m. Nothing happened, nothing unusual. But I just want to show you the sunrise through the window. You can see the clock is telling the correct time, 6 a.m. And I'm sleeping. I'm dead asleep. But remember, I went to bed at 4:23 a.m. So I didn't get much sleep. I was woken up, here's 7 a.m., by the spirit manipulating that REM pod in the corner of my room. We're approaching 8 a.m. I had as many devices as I could in that corner. The same devices were never turned off from the Friday the 13th experiment. We are approaching 9 a.m. and then I stop it near when the device actually. Here we have 9:30 a.m. On the dot is when I'm showing the real-time footage, and just watch and see. This is actual communication, probably from the exact same spirit from the previous experiments. This is the very last time I ever did a Corners of Room experiment, on April 15th on Sunday morning. Okay, we got some activity at 9:31 a.m. It's authentic activity. This thing's been running for a long time. That is 100% authentic activity. I'm way over here. I'm not over there. I'm going to do an EVP session real quick. See if we can capture something on this recorder right here. On this recorder right here. So here's a recorder. Gonna try to capture the voice of whatever this is. Spirit, speak into this recorder I'm holding in my hand. Say anything you'd like. I'll give you 5 seconds. I'm going to turn off the fan, it's kind of loud. Spirit, you can speak into this device right here that I'm holding in my hand, and you can say anything you'd like. I'll give you 10 seconds. I'm playing back the device to see if we can hear you.
Spirit, you can speak into this device right here that I'm holding in my hand. You can say anything you'd like. I'll give you 10 seconds. I'm playing back the device to see if we can... Spirit, you can speak into this device right here that I'm holding...
Okay, let's try this one more time, Spirit. It's 9:34 p.m. and 30 seconds. Speak into this device right here. Speak right into this part right here. And say anything you'd like. I'll give you 10 seconds.
Okay, let's try this one more time, Spirit. It's 9:34 p.m. and 30 seconds. Speak into this device right here. Speak right into this part right here. And say anything you'd like. I'll give you 10 seconds.
Okay, I said PM, but I meant AM. It's 9:35 AM. Let's try a different device. It's 9:35 AM and 56 seconds. I'm going to be moving this camera over here. So people can get a little bit of a perspective. is closed. No one's in the room but me. That is the REM pod going off in the corner of the room. Spirit. I'm going to record your voice right now on this recording device. Say anything you'd like. I'll give you 15 seconds to say anything you'd like into this device. Speak into this microphone right here on the device. I'm going to play it back, see if we can hear anything. Record your voice right now on this recording device. Say anything you'd like. I'll give you 15 seconds to say anything you'd like into this device. Speak into this microphone right here on the device. Dang it. Well, I can't seem to hear anything. It's curious. If you can hear me, can you set the device off right now? If you can hear me, can you set off one of the other devices? Not just the one in the corner, but we have two other ones next to it. We have a stack of devices. Can you knock those over, or can you touch those ones? We have a communication barrier. This experiment has been going on for a long time. We're talking Friday the 13th, there weren't any spirits here. Saturday the 14th, no spirits. And only Sunday the 15th at 9:30 a.m. there's a spirit shows up in the morning, 9:30 a.m. That's unusual to me. It's very unusual. I will give you another chance. Let's try this recorder right here. This recorder is known to pick up voices of spirits very well. So I'm going to put the GoPro up here. And I'm going to walk over here. And I'm going to take Night Shot off. For some reason, Night Shot was never taken off. Okay. As you can see, it's not nighttime anymore. We don't need the Night Shot. But I'm going to try to record your voice. Speak into this recorder right here. There's There's a little microphone right here. I will give you 10 seconds to say anything you'd like to say. Is there anything additionally you'd like to say? Speak really loudly, as loud as you can, into this device right here. It's 9:42 a.m. on Sunday, April 15th. As loud as you can right here. Into this recorder right here. There's a little microphone right here. I will give you 10 seconds to say anything you'd like to say. Is there anything additionally you'd like to say? Speak really loudly, as loud as you can, into this device right here. It's 9:42 a.m. on Sunday, April 15th. As loud as you can right here. The entity started playing with the REM pod, the same device it originally played with in this corner. I grabbed like 3 recorders and tried to record it. Played it back, nothing. It continued to play with the REM pod, and I suggested, or maybe I just hinted, I was like, hey, we have other devices here. We have this device right here. Can you set this device off? And a few EMF spikes with one of my older EMF meters, but minimal, like 0.5, very low. But no, it seemed to basically refuse to set off anything except for the REM pod. I checked the house, no one was playing with anything. I hear these devices can be set off with certain instruments, certain means. In no way, shape, or form have I ever done that before, and I never will be doing that in the future. And concerning these investigations, they are going to cease after I have acquired, I would say, a decent amount of information. Mysterialis is a show where I will actually walk into this place, film it, show you what I have on the recording. Zero manipulation. It would be nice to have a second crew member to verify zero manipulation, or a third crew member, or a fourth or a fifth crew member. But being a one-man ghost hunting, ghost investigation, because I don't really hunt is kind of an aggressive term, I investigate. I just go to the place, investigate, and hopefully they don't follow me back. If you're hunting them, get ready to be hunted back. Even though I don't hunt them, that Corners of Rooms experiment, I ceased. I stopped it because the entity would come back, or entities plural. And like my last video, we don't know who or what, the identity, the name, the history of the spirit. And personally, I don't hold stock in psychics saying, oh, that's that person, and that's why. Oh, they moved on now. I don't put stock in that whatsoever. That's not that person. That's not why they're here. They didn't move on. They're invisible, so we have very little information on them. But what information I can gain isn't going to be psychic information. It's going to be based on my past experience, just telling you how I perceive and how I observe it. You're free to come up with your own conclusions. But after I conducted a few Corners of Rooms experiments, invisible people, invisible human-like people with feet, would walk on my stuff in my room, would knock over my stuff, ding my stuff, knock on my stuff, really obviously make their presence known, that they're walking around my room. I would literally hear footprints walking on physical objects while wide awake, no sleep paralysis taking place. I get up, I stand up, I still continue to hear it. And most definitely, entities on some of these ghost investigations, unlike the Ghost Adventures guys, I will admit, there is a possibility. It is simply the entity following me from all areas. But at least some information can be gleaned from this, because why is this area conducive to them showing themselves and this area not conducive? So there's still information to be gained, even if that's the case that the Ghost Adventure guys, if you tweet them, and I've never tweeted them this, if I have, maybe once, but I don't think so. I didn't need to, because I've read at least half a dozen tweets to the Ghost Adventures guys saying, what if they're following you? What if it's just the same spirits following you from place to place? And bam, those people get slammed down and blocked down immediately, because the Ghost Adventures guys know that's too scary of a scenario for the general public watching the Travel Channel. The Travel Channel like the generic aspect of ghosts and the generic aspect of friendly Casper, and they're there's the history. Name's Casper. Lived a great life. Just is a fan of the area. And then they have dark episodes. They have the darkest Ghost Hunter show-wise. The Ghost Adventure guys win from what I've seen. A few crew members practice magic. Now, they're going to say it's some ancient stuff that's not evil and it's good, but you be the judge. I would say it's definitely yikes. I would personally kick a crew member off my crew if they performed a ritual to summon something that they could investigate. When I go to places, I don't have any preparation or ritual. I show up, record, leave. That's it. What you see is what happens. I don't talk to the entity except for when the camera's rolling and the EMF is ready to go. So I don't have any, oh, hey spirits, I don't have any candle lighting. I don't have anything other than showing up, filming, leaving. And if you have a device on, and I'll only have this on for a few seconds, if you have a device on, always have a camera rolling. When something crazy happens with the device, no one will believe you. Concerning no one believing, I am very familiar with that. Almost the worst thing, I've said this a couple times, what's worse than experiencing poltergeist activity to an extreme harassing degree, 6 months of it, almost worse than that experience itself, is no one believing me. No one believed it happened. No one, I tell people, the information seems to go in one ear, out the other, or it doesn't even go in the ears. They just block it. It bounces right out. Why is it worse? Because you're a total sane person, alright? And sure, when I'm holding the camera with night vision, I admit, it looks a little, what's going on here? I'm a very stable person. I don't take any forms of substances whatsoever, other than the occasional energy drink to give me a boost. I definitely need to get some energy drinks. I'm preparing for the trip next week. But I don't take anything. I'm totally sober and clean. I might have energy draining things, which I have to compensate with energy drinks, and they might have to do with a psychic vampire type entity sucking the life force out of me, I swear. I logically conclude certain things. I'll tell these things to people. Bam, they'll totally ignore it, or in one ear, out the other. And being called crazy, I'm used to it, but in no way, shape, or form could I ever be considered legitimately in the realm of crazy. So when I see people make comments, oh, you're insane, guy, or you're off your meds, guy, blocked and banned and deleted. I'm going to block and ban and delete any comment like that, because as Dave Chappelle said, there's nothing worse than being called crazy. There's nothing worse than everything you stand for being disregarded as crazy. It's a lazy response to a true thing. Dave Chappelle wanted to go to Africa to get away from showbiz Hollywood, that whole culture, and now he's obviously trying to creep back into it a little bit, probably to pay the bills. Hollywood didn't understand him. So they wrote a lot of articles about him saying, oh, this guy's crazy, he's a lunatic, and you have probably heard the jokes and the stories behind that. There are some pretty funny ones, pretty funny, concerning him passing many cities saturated with what they claim he was on, and went all the way to Africa to get something he could have got in his hometown. So he wanted to be clean and clear-minded. He wanted to go to Africa and just get away. I wish I could just go to some Johnny Depp island. Johnny Depp supposedly still owns an island in the Bahamas. So he's not that hurting unless he sells his island. Unless you sell your pirate island with a resort. And Johnny Depp goes to that pirate island with a resort to get away from the paparazzi, to get away from all that's happening from time to time, whatever the case may be. And I can see that. I go out into the wash, I walk across the street, just walk into the wash if I want to just collect my thoughts. I can tell you, walking out there is where I came up with a lot of my YouTube shows. Hoax Hunter, I invented Hoax Hunter while walking out there with my dog. And then, you know, people like to take what sounds good and they'll take it. But I'm not going to talk about the take rant. I may not talk about that ever again, or maybe I'll bring it up. It really depends how blatant it is. But as far as the new show, Mysterialis, stay tuned, coming soon. I'm actually an average guy. I'll drink an energy drink. I'll play a video game. I don't watch TV that much at all. I only watch a couple shows. Ghost Adventures. I like Game of Thrones. I like Vikings. And then, you know, crazy stuff in my life happens. And I guess the number one human response is going to be, this person's doing this for attention. What's this person's angle? I have zero angle. I'm not doing it for attention. It's kind of like a Men in Black, I've said this many times, a Men in Black, the movie scenario. I guess it would be the perspective of a character in the Men in Black universe. Let's say finds out aliens are real. And they make it their life goal to really declare to people, hey, aliens are real, aliens are real, aliens are real. Except with me, I witnessed ghost activity, humanoid activity of an invisible degree, not observable by the human eye except for the objects they can move around. 6 months straight actually happened, and it's happened to prestigious people in the past, such as Carl Jung, such as Sigmund Freud. Very intelligent people it has happened to in the past. Because I guess it's not happening to doctors and lawyers today, or is it? I think a few celebrities it's happening to. I think most definitely a doctor and a lawyer could be just as susceptible as me. I think they don't come out and they don't talk about it. I think they kind of like think, oh no, you know, let's keep this to myself. So some people keep it to themselves. Some people are big blabbermouths, and I'm unfortunately a blabbermouth. I have to reveal the truth. It's just part of my, it's part of who I am. I can't not reveal information. I do have some pieces of information, but 100% of it will be revealed. 100%. It's kind of the format, the time, and the place. I have a true story of something that actually happened to me. It's happened to Carl Jung. Sigmund Freud witnessed it. I mentioned that story many times because these are very skeptical men of renown. Great intelligence of our history of planet Earth. They witnessed the same thing I did, but I don't think to the extent that I did. And I observed it sober, and I saw what was going on. And the movie talks about the architecture of the universe. There's most definitely invisible architecture all around us. Higher dimensions, and a lot of people make the mistake, well, the negative demons, they're in the lower dimensions, not higher. And I have to explain to them what I know. What I know is they're in the higher. The negative ones are in the higher, which would make us humans below the negative. We're at the bottom of the bottom of the barrel. I know this dimensionally is the case. You could dig a hole to the center of the earth. You won't find any dimensions down there, other than the same dimensions right here on the surface. Until next time, stay tuned. This has been John Razimus with Mysterialis. Be seeing you.